Uh, Good morning. Welcome to the ninth edition of the TEEM conference this year in Barcelona, which is being celebrated in hybrid mode due to the COVID. The last year we celebrated the conference in a fully virtual environment, and this year we will be conducting the conference in a hybrid way. In this opening session, we have our rector, Professor Daniel Crespo. We have Imma Rodriguez, the director, Professor Imma Rodriguez, director of the School of Building Construction of the university, and the team general chair, Professor Francisco García Peñalvo of the University of Salamanca. And now the welcome will be provided by our rector.
Thank you, Mark. Dear Imma, director of the school, dear Mark, assistant director of
Deputy director.
deputy director of the Institute of Education Sciences in the university, and friend both. Dear Professor Francisco García Peñalva, which is the full professor of the University of Salamanca and chair of the conference. Today, the Barcelona School of Building Construction is hosting the ninth edition of Technological Ecosystems for Enhancing Multiculturality, which was started by the University of Salamanca. The conference is taking place at the Universitat Politécnica de Catalunya for the first time in the context of the program of activities celebrating our 50th anniversary. At present, higher education faces many challenges, intrinsically related to the Sustainable Development Goals. Quality education is already one of the Sustainable Development Goals by itself, but education is probably the most powerful tool for achieving gender equality. And, not less important, education is the basis for achieving decent work and economic growth and reducing inequalities. On the whole, education can largely contribute to the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals, as education is the key to understand the environment and its limits, as well as the needs for its preservation. Multiculturality, on the other side, is a single word to describe the most important human rights. Everyone is entitled to all the rights and freedoms without distinction of any kind, such as race, color, sex, language, religion, political or other option, national or social origin, property, birth, or other status. Multiculturality is simply the right to be oneself, to develop his or her personality, consequence of his or her cultural roots and education. For our university, and particularly for the Institute of Education Science, which has been promoting teaching innovation and teaching training since 1971, it's a great honor to act as an international meeting point for teacher trainers and specialists in teaching innovation. This 2021 edition of the conference, which focuses on 16 topics that cover engineering, education, and sustainability, represents the strategic lines of the education of the future, and it's, at the same time, part of the dialogue with society case agents in the advancement of the education sector and the technological education model. As for doctoral studies, the Universitat Politécnica de Catalunya has recently increased its educational offer by introducing the doctoral degree in engineering, science, and technology education, which is directed by the deputy director of the ICE, Professor Marc Allier, and aims to train researchers in engineering, sciences, and technology education. This new program is an opportunity to promote and increase the visibility of projects in the framework of quality education, and it's included the orientation towards strategic actions in the framework of the fourth Sustainable Development Goal in the United Nations 2030 Agenda. As the rector of the Universitat Politécnica de Catalunya, I would like to end this speech by recognizing the key role of members of the UPC's Institute of Education Science and their efforts to consolidate quality teaching technology education, which has been vital in overcoming the situation caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. It is therefore my pleasure to open the conference and wish you a fruitful debate and exchange. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rector. Professor Inma.
Thank you. It is also my pleasure to welcome the Chancellor or Rector of the University, Daniel Crespo, the organizers of the Congress, Marc Allier and Francisco Garcia Peñalvo, the director that is not here, but I want to say hello, the director of the Science of Educational Institute, the participants of the technological ecosystems and enhancing multiculturality, the TEEM 21, and friends. I welcome all the eminent speakers and guests from all over the country that have come to share their knowledge with the community, with our community. It is the first time that our school held this conference conducted on a digital and presential way, in line with norms due to COVID-19. The theme of this conference is the changes in educational dynamics due to pandemic and technological changes. This conference is organized in tracks, all of them very interesting, all of them, and devoted to identify, share, and valorize best practices and experience, including technological and methodological issues that focus on different aspects. All of them very interesting, but I point to some of them. The development of computational thinking and related skills in any level of pre-university or university education, promoting diversity and reducing inequality in STEM sectors, both academic and professional. Application, this is very interesting, of gamification and games for learning. Share innovative developments in the learning process to enhance engineering education, especially concerned on empirical practice that is our strength, for instance, in our university. Use of digital and social media in educational context. And for instance, another one is the application that I like very much, and that's why I put it here, because I like the application of learning of the advances in artificial intelligence. These are some examples that introduce us to the innovative elements of the Congress. We are proud then to announce that this conference is being conducted in this school by the Science of Education Institute, and we are satisfied to have all of you here. Thank you very much and welcome.
And now Professor Garcia Peñalvo from the University of Salamanca, and General Chair of TEEM.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Rector. Thank you, dear head of this technical school in the UPC. It's my pleasure to be here in Barcelona, especially in this university, in UPC. This is the 50th anniversary of the university. Everybody knows that 1971 was a very good year for persons, for institutions.
Best year.
Yep. This year, Mark and me know very well. And this is the ninth edition of this conference. This conference was born in Salamanca, but and we are always blessed that receiving you in Salamanca. But also we love go to other universities, other cities, just in order to know new places and organize the conference in other places. But especially, it's my pleasure to be here with all of you. 2 years ago, we stayed in León in the 7th edition of this conference, and we closed very happy to meet again in Salamanca in October 2020. But a virus appeared and changed all of our plans. Gratefully, we are here again. And it's my pleasure to see your faces and have the opportunity to interact with all of you. Perhaps it's not a typical edition. Last year was fully virtual, fully online. It was great because we continue with our plans. But this year is so special because we have online attendance, but we have our family here again to interact, all of us. Having a hybrid edition is a challenge. It's so complicated. I know organizing an full online conference is another way, but having the both sides of the history is very complicated. And I want to thank Mark and David, the co-organizers, La Salle, UPC, because they have to solve a lot of problems just in order to organize technical sessions with face-to-face sessions. Then thank you so much, David. Thank you so much, Mark, for all your effort. And we have the opportunity to interact with us. Then this is the most important. We have to enjoy this conference. We have to enjoy the academic part, but also the social, the human part of the TEEM conference, because it's the most important part of the conference. Thank you so much to be here.
Well, thank you, Rector. Thank you, Francisco. Thank you, Imma. Thank you, Rector, for doing the due diligence and doing research about our conference, and your speech summarized a lot of the work that we have been doing for the last 9 years, well, 10 years when we first envisioned the creating of a conference. And Francisco led all the team, all the chairs that we have been creating this community. It's important to say that last year, COVID, it was a great hit for all of us, for personal losses, and for the affecting everything. But one of the things that has done COVID is accelerating the adoption of new technologies and things and strategies, methodologies, and technologies that the community around TEEM we had been talking for 10 years, and even before when we met in other conferences in around Europe and the world, and we started knowing each other because the Spaniards usually band together. And these technologies we were ready to advise all of us. I think that most of the track chairs and present authors in TEEM, we were able to contribute in our universities to face this challenge. And because this conference and this line of research, multidisciplinary research, which is difficult then for accreditation purposes and other things to recognize the impact of multidisciplinary research, because this multidisciplinary research against the stream was being conducted, we were ready to face this pandemic, and it was important. I just want to give a few numbers. Please, can you put the proper slide, Ernest? A few numbers of the next one, please. Welcome. So the next one, please. This one. To the conference were presented 176 papers, of which 136 have been accepted. The number of authors with accepted publications is 400 different authors, of which 135 have been registered, coming from 25 countries. As Francisco said, we have decided to do the hard way, do the hybrid conference, because we understand that there is value in meeting ourselves face to face, and is also value in allowing the ones who cannot travel for distance, for COVID measures, or for other problems to be able to attend to the conference. So we have done the hard thing. Last but not least, please next. In the next few days, we will have published the proceedings in the in the ACM TAPS system, which all you know that has been really hard because they have a really difficult process, but is a Scopus is a Scopus indexed proceedings, which is really good, especially for the PhD students. The TEEM conference has a doctoral consortium, which is a great. It's a great way for students of PhD to introduce themselves in the world of conferences and publish their first research. We have students from of UPC from the sustainability program of PhD and from the new engineering science and technology program doctoral, which I have just started being the coordinator, and we are really happy that some of the students are already presenting here in the TEEM conference. Now it's important to me to give thanks first to Ariadna Llorenç, the director of ICE, who is not here because she has personal occupations and she can't be here. She apologized, and we have her in our hearts. She has been so supportive and putting all the weight of the ICE behind the conference. Then my friend David Fonseca, Professor David Fonseca of Universidad de La Salle, who accepted the burden of working with me and being the program chair, scientific chair, and has been doing an excellent, hard job all the summer. We have been calling each other almost every day, solving a lot of problems, organizing, and even right now fixing little problems and inconveniences. The conference is not possible without Lucia, Alicia, Andrea, and Fran, and all the team of Grial, who has been as the mothership of the team, giving us support all the way, technical support, graphic design support, psychological support, virtual hugs. So it's important also. In the team of Fonsi, we have, of course, my dear friend Daniel Amo, we have Monica, and we have the intern, one of the students of sustainability, Elhan Falkanen, who is right now in Brussels. And she has been the one helping everybody to make their papers comply with the requirements of ACM, which is not easy. Also in the team of ICE, I need to thank Jose Miguel Quiñones, especially Eva, and of course Araceli, Maria Jose, Emma, Jordi, and Mireia, and Ernest, and the other deputy directors, Joana and Jesus, and also all the team of EPSEP, Imma, Laura, and all the technical support of the Lisa, Isabel, and Guillem. And last but not least, my dear friend Miguel Angel Conde, who has carried on with the edition of a special issue that we had together, and she has carried all the burden for me. And of course to all the chairs and the program committee. This conference is a common effort. It's a common effort, and it's building a community around around this community are rising a lot of publications, special issues in indexed journals, European projects, and all kinds of good stuff and research and collaboration that comes out here. So be welcome and have a really nice conference. Thank you for being here. So if not, maybe Fonsi wants to say something, then that's all for this session. Now we have the coffee break if it's ready. Now we will close the streaming. All the sessions will be virtual via Zoom. All of you should have received the email with the links to the different conference rooms, and we will be here and in the sala 3-4, which is in the third floor. And if somebody needs some kind of support, a place to sit while they're connected to internet, in the ICE we have some rooms that you can be accommodated, and we will be happy to have you there. The coffee break will be downstairs, and have a great conference.